Hello everybody, welcome to the Sound Test Room. Today I want to show you some very cool tips and tricks you can do with the Arturia DrumBrute. Stuff like ratcheting, polyrhythms, things like that. So if anyone's interested in that kind of thing, also nudging beats off the grid and things like that. So much cool stuff you can do. So we're going to start with an empty pattern. Here's nothing in this. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to lay down some kind of just the basic beat. But the very first thing I'm going to do before I even start, hi Jade, hi Cliff. The very first thing I'm going to do before I start is hit shift here and make sure my polyrhythm mode is switched on. So it might be off or it might be on. So if we go to another pattern, for instance, it's probably off. But I'm going to stick with this, which there's nothing in it. So I'm going to hold shift, make sure polyrhythm is switched on. And that's just, to save doing it once the pattern is set up. But you can do it once the pattern's set up. That's absolutely fine. So let's select the drum we're going to start with. I've got it going through a tiny bit of reverb from the black hole just to give it a bit more body. So I'm going to choose this kick. And I'm going to go to step here. Now I could record in real time, that's absolutely fine. But I'm just going to place in a basic 4 on the floor. Just give it a bit of tweak in there. Can you see it okay, or is the light a bit weird? As long as you can see it all right, that's fine. And as long as it sounds okay. Does it sound like it's not glitchy or anything like that? I hope it's absolutely fine. But if someone could let me know, that'd be great. And then what I'm going to do is choose this closed hi-hat. And I'm going to leave it in step mode. Can see it here perfectly. Oh, thank you, brilliant. I'm not sure what I'm doing later, howdy. Can't remember. Everything peeps. Hi, Paul. I'm going to do this. I'm just going to put that snare hi-hat in. And the first thing I'm going to show you is how you can do ratcheting as well. Now, this has always been available to use, but not many people take advantage of the kind of extra bits and pieces you can do to make your rhythms a bit more exciting and entertaining, even if it's just for yourself. So what we're going to do is we're going to hold this. And I'm going to choose, say, for instance, this step here. And you can do this on a per step basis. That's what's so blinking cool about the DrumBrute. So I'm going to hold number 9. And I can choose now, it's on quarter already, because you can see that's lit up. They're always on quarter. That's the basic speed. So if I hit 16ths, I've now ratcheted that, which is very, very cool. And we could go with, say, this one here and ratchet it at 32nd. How cool is that? Okay, so this time I'm going to real-time record in a bit of snare. What I'm going to do is I'm going to nudge this snare, I'm going to nudge it off grid so I can do this per step as well. So all I need to do is hold this step here and use the swing control to nudge it off grid. So you can get into boom bap now if you like. So that's slightly off time now. But we could also do that with one of the kicks. We're going to get a bit more feel in there. So we select our kick track now. Let's nudge this one before. So that's very cool. And now what we're going to do is put some polyrhythms in. But first of all, let's put some more Let's put a bit more excitement in here. So maybe, yeah. So I'm going to do that live. Do is I'm going to engage some polyrhythm stuff now. So all we need to do is, like I said, make sure polyrhythm is on if we hold shift, and I'm going to apply it to this high tom here. So make sure it's selected, and then all I need to do is, because I'm in polyrhythm mode, is hold last step. Make sure I'm in step mode. Hold last step. We're getting odd time signatures, which is very cool. And I'll do this one. Hold last step. I could put another step in now as well. And if I don't hold any steps, I can now I'll get out of here. To remember here is I'm now going to save my pattern because I don't want to lose it. So hi Daniel, hi Ed, hi Howdy Doody, hi Lee, hi Russ, super. Now what we can also do, let's build another quick track. So we've saved that. Let's go to a blank pattern, and I'm gonna engage metronome and quickly record a pattern in. Okay, so we need to go to step so we can see. Okay, so stop record. We can swing the entire track. Very nice. Or we can swing individual tracks. So let's choose this closed hi-hat and just engage current track, which is the closed hi-hat. Hey Vortex, how you doing, matey? That's give it a really nice feel, so I'll leave it like that. Very nice. And then we can just also just randomize, well, we can randomize the whole thing, watch. And the more extreme, But we can also just randomize the current track, which is the hi-hat as well. And let's pick this track again, steps, and let's add a few more ratchets in, maybe 2 here. That track. So go to pattern, I'm going to hit copy and paste that into pattern 6. Pattern 6. And now pattern 6 is an exact copy of pattern 5. And now I'm going to apply some kind of switch polyrhythm on and go to my closed hat. And now it's just a 4 sequence, but we'll make it odd. Very cool. Let's go to this kick and let's last step that. I'm going to save that pattern. Okay. And of course, you can add accents to anything. If it's highlighted in red, it's accented because these are pressure sensitive pads. So if you don't want an accent on a step, you can just tap it again while it's in step and it will take the accent off the step. But if you would like to add an accent, you just hit accent and then just hit the steps that you want to be accented, sort of thing. And then you can go back to step. Now another super cool thing that the DrumBrute does, and these are all, you know, it's so versatile. And don't forget also that it's just a brilliant MIDI controller for setting up patterns to be played in the iPad, etc, etc. I've demoed that before in another video where you can play the thing via your apps inside your iPad, sort of thing. I'm just going to check something here. Okay. So what was I going to do now? Oh yeah, the mutes and the solos. This is brilliant, right? So I'm going to turn the metronome on. If I hit mute now, I can mute anything I like in a group. And as soon as I hit mute again, it will come back on. But if I Joe's going shopping, Watson's having a bark. And the same goes for solo, right? It will remember grouped instruments. Now it doesn't do this. It doesn't save with the memory because it's an analog machine. So, but you can play with all this stuff as you're setting up the DrumBrute, you know. And again, just you can clear them just like that. And this picks up, right, the loop head, the repeat thing, that picks up wherever it is in the pattern sort of thing. So a really glitchy one, and there's a new one. I think it's great. So let's listen. Let's have a listen to some of the sounds we can get. For this part, I'll just turn the microphone down. Anyway, I hope you guys are all okay. As interviewing Jordan Rudess. Cool. Jordan's the man. So I'm going to close the microphone and just play with some of the sounds so we can set up some new sounds for another pattern. Has that really nice reverse cymbal as well. You can, of course, you're not just limited to one bar. You can record over. I want to show you this as well. It's the timing thing for this pattern. So this is another cool feature as well. Now, some of these sounds are shared, but they have independent sequencer lanes sort of thing. They just share the same. So this would be conga, and then we've got toms. I'm going to stick with congas for both. can also, by the way, if you hold shift and record, you can also record unquantized if you wanted to. Oh no, the brutes, both of the DrumBrute, the Impact and this, are really reasonably priced, and you can probably pick them up even cheaper second hand. And they're just, the connectivity is just insane as well, and you can output each of these channels independently into a mixer if you wanted to. It's pretty good. Yeah, mate. How cool, it's just randomised that snare. Sounds brilliant now. Little fills here and there. So this next feature is the timing of the entire thing as well. So and you always know where you are. Thanks, Ed. You always know where you. It is cool, isn't it? You always know where you are. Yeah, I should be here later, Paul. Cheers. the thing to remember is just continually save. Keep saving. Keep saving all the time. Keep saving. Don't not save. Just save all the time. Sounds nice with a bit of reverb, doesn't it? So you've got to have a little bit of the old verb going. The bit of the old verb. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. It's dead easy to, like, all the little bits and pieces you can do per step on a per step level. I'm pretty sure I covered everything there. We covered the polyrhythm thing. We could have some fun with polyrhythms actually with this, because this is quite the straightforward rhythm now. Reverse cymbals, cool. So again, just for clarity, we hold shift and engage polyrhythm. And now we're good to start setting polyrhythms up for anything that we want, really. We could choose some of the interesting stuff. But what's nice is setting the polyrhythms to be at totally random times. So instead of being on dead beats sounds, you know, like quarters or 8 or something, we could set it at like 7, 9, and get some interesting effects like that. So let's try that, shall we? Choose what we want to affect first. This tom. Maybe the hi-hat. Snare. The clap. Put that on 11. And this will be remembered per pattern. So if we go back to say change the timing again. And again, the timing here for the entire pattern is also remembered as part of the pattern. So as long as you've saved it, when you reboot all this, it will all still be there. So this, for instance, is a 16th, whereas 9 is 1/8 triplet, which is really lovely. And then a blank pattern. Guys, there you go. Hope you enjoyed that. I'm going to make sure I save all my patterns again, because saving is important. We know that. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you found it mildly entertaining, even if you don't have a DrumBrute. I think they're great. I think that if you can find one at a reasonable price, I know they're not expensive anyway in the grand scheme of hardware, if you like. And I know that Arturia sent this to me, as you know, but I keep coming back to it every now and then and just having a sit down with it and having a play. And I was doing that this morning, and I thought, well, there's a lot of stuff that doesn't kind of, always get mentioned in the tutorials and stuff. Not a clue what you were doing though. Well, if you had a DrumBrute, you would understand, Colin. Do you know what I mean? The polyrhythms are easy to understand. If you hold shift and polyrhythm is switched on, you select any of your patterns here. A dead easy way to show this. So let's go to an empty. It's 11 empty. Yeah. Let's go to an empty pattern. I'll set it on 1/16. I'm going to put in. I'll show you. You'll understand this dead easy now, because we're just going to use one. I'm just going to use this one kick, and I'm just going to put a step recording of four on the floor. Okay, so it'll go across all 16 steps. We'll speed it up a bit. Okay, now holding shift and make sure that polyrhythm is switched on. If you hold last step now, you can set that kick drum sequence, which is now going over 16, to any step number you like. So for instance, set it at 2, and that's the length of that pattern. But if you go to another drum, you see it's only going over 2 steps. Let's go last step, but maybe you could do weird, and that's making it sound more like a heartbeat. So if we go to snare will still be set at 16 because we haven't set a last step. So, and before adding any swing or anything, we've got a really nice vibe going. Put it on here. And maybe I think I'll just take them out. Because the bass is running at an odd time signature, you see how it sounds like the snare's changing every time? And that's how you use your polyrhythm. So it's almost constantly varying. It's nice. And then we could just randomize the whole thing. Or individual tracks. We could randomize the kick. So there you go. That's how you do it. That's polyrhythms. But the ratcheting's cool as well. I've been able to apply a ratchet to each individual step is just insane. It's just great. We covered all the cool features, all the cool stuff. Guys, anyway, I hope you can join me later. Not a clue what I'm doing yet, though. I'm a bit like Colin and polyrhythmic programming on here. I don't know what I'm doing later. I'm sure I'll think of something. Yeah, hopefully you can join me and we can be well, you can talk to each other as you do about everything, as you wish. Thanks again for joining me this afternoon in the UK and Cornwall. Please strike that like if you haven't struck it upon already. Bless you all for watching as always. I hope you enjoyed it. I really like the DrumBrute. I do. I think it's think it's great fun. It's nice and tactile and hands-on, isn't it? And you can, you know, do all sorts of nice things. And it's got like a song mode as well and all the rest of it. Just like playing with it, you know. It's nice. Filter's nice as well. It's all cool. It's all cool beans. Black Velvet. Black Velvet. Isn't that a drink? Yeah, it does sound like a... I've randomized that now. Let me just... Cool. Yeah, it does sound a bit like Alana Miles, doesn't it? Oh, Black Velvet, the song. What are you on about then? Right. Guys, brilliant. I'll let you say ta-ra to each other for a few minutes and I will see you later. Yes, yes. Bye.